are, June 6, 2010. It reminds me of a day almost 34 years ago, June 13, 1976, my high school graduation. Our ceremony took place on the front lawn of KHS, and because of the weather, we had twice moved the setup from what is now Gym C, at the time our only gymnasium. We had moved it to the front lawn twice that day. It was long before weather.com, and the only people that ever contacted the National Weather Service were TV meteorologists. We made it through the end of the ceremony before the downpour. Everyone scattered in all directions. Some goodbyes were left unsaid. It was the last time we were all in the same place together. Take a look around. This will be the last time you will all be assembled together, ever. When I found out that I was to be honored as your guest speaker at graduation, my first thoughts were, holy cow. Well, it wasn't exactly that, but I really can't say what I actually thought. The panic then set in. What do I have to say that could be of any importance or influence? Everyone always says, I can't even remember who spoke at my graduation, let alone what they said. I then set 2 goals for the speech. It had to be memorable and entertaining. So here we go. Any graduation speech must include some kind of advice, the passing on of wisdom. I decided to go to the place where all knowledge begins, the place where lifelong knowledge is bestowed. Yes, it was quite a journey, a pilgrimage, you might say. What is the saying? All I ever needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. So I put the question, what advice would you give to students graduating from Kennebunk High School to Mrs. Louia's multi-age classroom at Kennebunk Elementary School? You know, being first and second graders, they had successfully completed kindergarten. Here's what they had to say. Always tie your shoes. Shut and lock the door. Get a job. Buckle up. Don't lose control. Eat healthy. And wash your hands after using the bathroom. Not a bad list, but several of the students took the challenge further. Hayden said, don't be scared of the ball if it's coming at you. Keep your eye on the ball. Alex wrote, feed your pets, especially if they're fish. Fish die quickly. Colby wrote, look for a job before they're all taken. And taken is spelled T-E-Y-C-I-N. Zach said, you should know what to do before you play a game like tag or hide-and-go-seek. Never feed your dog your homework unless it's old homework. You should graduate before you go to college. And college is spelled C-A-L-L-I-G-E. And finally, Sarah said, whatever you are and whatever you set your head to, try your best and your dreams will come true. Aw, isn't it Disney-like? I'm often asked, especially during graduation weekends, why do the kids like you? My response usually revolves around, well, we have fun, or if what I were doing wasn't fun, they wouldn't choose to be involved. Well, one of the graduates gave me a note Friday that will change that response forever. In it, they thanked me for my honesty, my ability in many situations to be that voice that you could depend on. Honesty. Merriam-Webster defines it as fairness and straightforwardness of conduct. Dictionary.com defines it as truthfulness, sincerity, or frankness. Why they all can't get together and come up with one definition, I'll never know. But how about telling the truth? Honesty is the best policy. Well, being the best policy doesn't always mean it feels good. It doesn't always mean that it's what people want to hear. The truth is, honesty is a double-edged sword. It can be transformative if the recipient accepts it, learns from it, and moves on. It can be destructive if the person shuts down and withdraws and thinks less of themselves or of you. Honesty has to be served with a little respect and trust. You can win trust through honesty, or you can lose it. I'll be honest, I've won some and I've lost some. I'd like to think I've won more than I've lost. I'd like to take the definition of honesty one step further. Honesty is recognizing the truth within you and acting upon it. We all have that voice in us that we sometimes ignore, but that we must listen to, that we must learn to trust. We know all the answers to life's questions. They are in us. We have to learn to listen to ourselves. It's the choices you make based on what you hear from that voice. That's what makes the difference. It's having the courage to listen to yourself and act accordingly. If we all did that, there would be fewer problems all the way around. If it weren't bogged down by political maneuvering, doublespeak, cultural biases, and emotional walls, we could move forward. If we just listened to ourselves and acted, we could do anything. Some of us have been hardened by experiences beyond our control. Someone has treated us unfairly. Someone has hurt us. We feel we have excuses. I'm here to tell you, there are no excuses. What there is a responsibility, one that we can all share, but nonetheless, our individual responsibility to ourselves, our family, our community, our country, and as cliché as it sounds, our world. Acting on that responsibility allows us to be true to ourselves and in turn true to others. Honesty. It's effective if it's shared with respect and trust. Now, like in any good lesson plan, we must shift gears to keep you engaged and awake. It's time for some entertainment.